Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll tell you about 5 people preying on passengers at NAIA Terminal 3 were arrested after weeks of monitoring, a missing 18-year-old found in a jail cell 4,000 miles away, a Filipino-American man is facing serious charges in California after allegedly abducting a 10-year-old girl he met through the online gaming platform Roblox, a giant python found in a house ceiling in Cebu, Philippines, plus much more. Let's jump straight into our main story. A teenager from the UK who was reportedly missing in Thailand has been confirmed as being arrested almost 4,000 miles away in Georgia. Bella Mae Cully's mom, Leanne Kennedy, previously spoke to reporters claiming that her daughter was reportedly last seen in Pattaya area and hasn't been in contact with her family since Saturday. The 18-year-old's relatives even flew out to the country to search for Bella, as her mom said they were all desperate for news of her whereabouts. But in a shock update on Tuesday afternoon, May 13th, Cleveland police said that an 18-year-old woman from Bellingham has been arrested in the Eastern European country on suspicions of trafficking illegal substances. Bella first flew to the Philippines just after Easter and had been traveling with a friend around islands. She is believed to have flown to Thailand on May 3rd. As previously reported, she has regular contact with her mom and she's due to speak with her on Saturday, but the family has no word since and her phone is thought to be switched off. Bella's father, Neil Cully, has now flown out to Thailand with his sister, Carrie Cully. Leanne previously told T-Side Live, quote, "She flew out to the Philippines after Easter with a friend and she was there for 3 weeks. She was posting loads of pictures and then she went to Thailand on May 3rd. Another UK person being suspected of smuggling a lot of the... I'm going to give you guys a bit more detail. Actually, it's probably not even important. I think it was with 13 kilos of grass. So the details of that are not important. The thing that's important is not the first time. Firstly, when I see videos like this or news articles, initially I ignore them because a lot of people go missing in Thailand specifically, and they end up like on an island somewhere, at a party, at a guest house, at a hostel, drinking somewhere. So it's not going to make sense for me to report every single missing person. But this one, obviously, a very different type of story. I've been to Georgia, not that it matters. It's a beautiful country, very surprising to me. The reason why I think she went to Georgia, I'm assuming, is because of the 1-year visa. That's just the whole thing that but then why take... It's just 18 years old. What a waste. I hope that she learns from this and there's some kind of positive ending. I don't really can see anything like that, but please don't do stuff like this, especially internationally. There's some serious like crimes and charges. I'm not really certain about Georgia's specific laws when it comes to this kind of stuff, but let's head on over to the Philippines. 5 suspects were arrested at NAIA Terminal 3. The group allegedly targeted sleeping and distracted passengers during a nightly security shift change. Between April 28th and May 5th, their method involved distracting victims while stealing unattended belongings. 2 suspects escaped during the arrest, while 2 mobile phones and laptops were recovered. The arrested individuals now face charges, including theft and attempted escape. Airport authorities urge passengers to remain vigilant and report suspicious behavior. A great opportunity to remind you to always be wary of somebody too friendly. Of course, Filipinos are very friendly people, but if you're at the airport and somebody, a stranger, starts talking to you, especially multiple people, and I've had that happen to me before in Thailand. Actually, I was walking one time and these let's just call them freelancers walked up to me and they were just too touchy and feely. I noticed one of them trying to grab my wallet. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And really touchy and grabby. Yeah, it's fun and games, but this is a whole different thing. You know, sometimes they try to distract you, ask you questions, point at their phone. So you got to be aware of all types of tactics. Just make sure you're aware of your belongings. And then in California, Filipino-American Matthew Macatuno Naval, 27 years old, was arrested for allegedly abducting a 10-year-old girl he met through Roblox. He picked her up in Taft under false pretense and drove her 250 miles to Elk Grove. The girl was later found with Naval by police, and her family had tracked her phone to his location. Naval faces serious felony charges, including kidnapping and lewd acts with someone that's not 18, 10 years old, oh my goodness. He claimed he believed the girl was 18 years old and denied any kind of adult contact, though he admitted they kissed. His attorney stated Naval is on the autism spectrum. The case has raised concerns about online safety for children. Buddy, if you have the mental capacity to talk a 10-year-old into going somewhere with you 250 miles and driving there, you're not on no spectrum. The only spectrum you're going to be is on the dick spectrum in prison.
Breaking his silence from behind bars.
I should have been more careful. Yeah. I should have been more questioning when it came to having that person involved.
27-year-old Matthew Naval says he was misled, stating a 10-year-old girl he met in a 17 and older voice chat room on Roblox told him she was 18.
They asked me if I wanted to, be more than friends. I was a little bit, hesitant because of, age or whatnot, but I was pretty much encouraged.
Naval says he drove hours from his home south of Sacramento to Central California to pick up the girl. On April 13th, police found her with Naval in his car, more than 250 miles away from her home.
So when did you discover she was 10 years old?
Ooh. I would say, because, I'm sorry, it sickens me every time I hear that age. I think when I was questioned.
Naval is facing 7 felony charges, including kidnapping and lewd acts with them. He has pleaded not guilty.
It was just holding hands in some sort. She's pretty much holding hands most of the time.
He also asking Naval about his attorney's remarks that he's on the autism spectrum.
No, I believe that's my job position. I did work with kids who are on the spectrum with autism. Yeah, I was just starting for my second day.
And then a 30 kilogram, 2.5 meter python was found in the ceiling of a house in Lapu-Lapu, Cebu. It was rescued by BPSO personnel and later turned over to Senro. A male resident was bitten while trying to help and is being treated at a local hospital. Another 1.5 meter, 8 kilogram was also found in Barangay Gonob and handed over to Senro. Both snakes will be transferred to DENR Central Visayas for proper care. The larger python may have entered the home in search of food. I know some people got they get the creeps when it comes to the snakes. I don't really mind snakes particularly, but a 30 kilogram, almost 3 meter long python, that's a whole nother level. I'm not touching that. And then quickly in the Philippines, the province of Cebu has elected a second woman governor in Pamela Barriquatro, who pulled an upset win over incumbent and 5-term governor Gwendolyn Garcia in the 2025 midterm polls. And this is what she had to say. Quote, "The people have spoken. I have no mayors and barangay captains behind me. I only have the people behind me. So I want to be known as the people's governor," end quote, said the governor-elect after her proclamation on Tuesday. So cool, a new governor in Cebu. Let's finish up on a positive note in the Philippines. Crimson Resort and Spa Mactan has once again made waves, earning a spot in 2025 Michelin Guide hotel selection for a second consecutive year. I've never been there. Actually, I've never been to many resorts in Lapu-Lapu or Mactan. There's a lot of them there. Most of the great beaches are actually controlled by these resorts. You have to go through them, pay a daily fee or something like that. But good to see that they made the list once again. Let me know if you've been to the specific one at the Crimson one or any other Mactan Lapu-Lapu resort. I know they're very popular, especially with families. And if you just want to relax, kind of not to worry about anything else, everything done for you. I've never been to a Michelin Star. One time, actually, I won a 5-star hotel stay for a week or 2, I can't remember, I think it was 2 weeks almost, through a very popular channel, Thailand, Retired and Working for You. Actually, it was him that really got me looking into YouTubing and all that. So that's my personal story when it comes to staying at resorts. And now it's time for our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Yesterday's video was about that woman that stole money from a tip jar at a bar in Koh Phangan, Thailand. Robert Cole said, "Theft is theft. Lock her up." I agree. And I believe until Thailand starts to actually come down on these tourists that are misbehaving, not too much is going to change. I believe it's a fine balance between trying to please the tourists. Obviously, Thailand depends. I think about 12% of their GDP relies on tourism, so they don't want to upset the tourists, but they also have to uphold the law and ensure that they keep this kind of behavior to a minimum. Once again, a handful of people don't really speak to 35 million tourists a year, but that seems to happen quite often, especially on some of these islands like Koh Phangan, Koh Phi Phi, obviously Pattaya, Phuket, and those places that are known to be hotspots for tourists and nightlife, partying, all sorts of things. Steve L says, "Respect. Some people need to learn it, use it, and show it. YouTubers, young tourists, foreigners with suitcases full of money, etc., etc." Yes, speaking of suitcases full of money, if you guys want to see the video I did, the deep dive into that incident that happened in Cebu International Airport, you guys can go ahead and check it out. I've left a link in the description and in the comment section. I did like an 8-minute video about those 11 people that were arrested carrying $500 million peso in cash. If you guys want to check that out, head on over to Living Abroad and take a look. And the last two popular comments come from Steve F. and Free Speech Johnny. Steve says, if you would steal someone's tip jar, you probably need to self-delete. Whoa, harsh words, but hey, man, it is what it is. Free Speech Johnny says, these IDF people need to stop. Presumably, she's from Israel, although their nationalities were not confirmed. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a whole bunch of Israelis in Kopanyak specifically. Thank you for watching. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Tourism, so they don't want to kind of like